Hello, 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 Lois. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. This is going to be a great week. I feel it in my bones.
I know it is.
It's going to be a great week. I know I had a great weekend, and it's going to be a great week. I just feel it. I just know it. Feel it. So today we're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about some of the things that we know in our hearts of hearts that we're supposed to be working on to progress and move our lives forward, and yet we don't do it. We put everything else in the way. We do all the other busy stuff, and the stuff that's going to move us forward, sometimes we don't do what we're supposed to do. We abandon our responsibility. So let's talk about why that is. I've got an idea about what that is. What do you think? What do you think, Lois?
I think there's many reasons.
But there's a main reason.
I think fear is a big reason.
Yes.
But fear of what? Fear of failure, fear of
Success.
Fear of not being enough, not being good enough, not being fast enough, not being beautiful enough, not being tall enough, not being skinny enough, not being not having
All
enough
of
money,
the above.
not, you know.
All the above. All the above.
You know, how many things could we come up with? I think everybody probably has a list of their own that
a long list.
A long list.
A long list.
And then there's the list that we aren't even willing to list.
The things we don't want to talk about, right? Or the things that we don't want to really think about, or the things that we're afraid to take on the most. But here's the thing. What I've known from my own experience and from this past year especially is that we have to step into the unknown. That song from Into the Unknown. Into the unknown. Because once you do, it's not really as hard as you think it's going to be. And people are so willing to help and to give you advice and to kind of help you along the way. And of course, there's others that don't want to see you succeed, but there are others that are in your corner. And I think the way opens up in the universe for you to get to the destination that you were meant to get to. And so sometimes we have to not know, but step anyway. Not feel like we need to do it, but do it anyway. Be afraid, but do it anyway. Because that initial fear dissipates. It goes away. Because once you're in it.
It's the hardest part. It's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part. But once you're in it, up to your eyeballs, you don't have time to be afraid anymore because you're in it and you've got to figure out what to do. And so you don't have any time to be afraid anymore. Initially, yes, before you step off the cliff, but once you've jumped off the cliff, you're free falling. That's it. So you either pull that parachute before you hit the ground, or you hit the ground.
I think we just had a visitor.
Huh?
I think we just had a visitor.
Oh, I think that was great. Was that Gray?
Yeah.
Gray wanted to say hello. So what do you think,
No fear.
Lois? No fear. I mean, it's so human to have fear. It's so human to not know and feel that we're inadequate or we're not enough. But those are those negative self-limiting beliefs that we keep dragging around with us. We have to kind of shed that baggage. Even if it's a little at a time, we just need to shed it, because once we take the first step, just the next one comes a little easier, and the next one comes a little easier. So the fear is going to stop us, but we shouldn't let it hinder us 100%. We should let it propel us, actually, to take the next step, because we know it's going to be better on the other side of that. So yeah.
And I think that's learned. And maybe we just have to struggle and a little bit and learn to get past ourselves and be
Yeah.
willing to give up our ego a little bit and move forward without self a little bit,
Mhm.
and focus on others. Part of that is just us wanting so much ourself. I think protecting ourself, um, moving
It,
past that a little bit, and allowing a focus on something else other than us, I think has helped me a lot.
yeah.
For so long, my focus was always, what's wrong with me? What's going on with me? Like, how can I get past this? Why is this? What's, why
Yeah.
is this happening? And when I was able to start to shift that and start asking different questions, a lot started to change in my life. And I think those are, when you can change your questions,
Yes.
things start to happen.
You know what that reminds me of as well, Lois? When you focus on doing for others, it's such a great, rewarding feeling that you want to kind of try and repeat that again, as opposed to trying to think about all the stuff that you're not having, all the stuff that you're not getting. But when you do for others and you take the focus off yourself, it's such a good feeling to be focused on somebody other than yourself and to have them be fulfilled in some way. It's a great feeling to be able to be in that position to do that. So if we find opportunities where we can do that, where we can be the cheerleader for somebody else, where we can be the advocate for somebody else, where we can be the change agent for somebody else, then where do we have room to even fit those self-limiting beliefs and those feelings of inadequacy for ourselves? We're so busy doing for others that it doesn't leave much room for that. So that's what we need to be looking for, is opportunities to do for others, and to do, not that you should forget about yourself or ignore yourself, but when you are feeling fearful, when you're feeling inadequate, those are the times that we change the focus. Because we
Well,
are enough.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, it doesn't mean losing yourself, like,
No,
and not taking care of yourself, because if you aren't taking care of yourself, you really can't care for others. So
that's true.
there's this interesting balance. You have to look after yourself, or you're not going to be able to look after anyone else.
Yeah,
You have to know who you are, or you're not going to be able to invest in anyone else.
absolutely right.
There is a need to really be, I don't know, true to yourself, or I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, but um, you want to
Just be
say things.
you. Just be
You
you.
want to say things in the right way when you're in these moments. And right now I'm like Gray's running around, and I'm like thinking about my kids are getting ready to come home, and the reality is I've got a million things going on, and we're trying to do this call, but we have a great ability to love others when we do take care of ourselves. But sometimes we just need to ask, where's my focus?
Yeah. So changing the focus when you need to, but having a focus to start with. So I think you're right in that sense, that if the focus is on us, you're not going to get much accomplished, because we do think that, well, maybe we're not good enough or we're inadequate. But when you change the focus, then you show up for them. So then in turn, you're showing up for yourself. And that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
My son actually gave me this bracelet today.
Oh,
He said, I made this for you, Mom.
Oh,
today, and it says, the words on it say, stick with God.
I love that.
And
Love that.
it's perfect. I love it, right? It just says stick with God, and it has
Stick
this
with
little
God,
cactus. It has a cactus on it,
and you'll be
um,
okay.
which is awesome too, because it's like life gets prickly,
Mm,
you know, life gets really sticky. And
yep,
God is what gets me through the mess. He
same here.
walks with me through the mess. And if I'm not sticking with him, it's bad.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
um, and asking him my questions, you know, has also allowed shift
Yeah, that's a
and
beautiful thing.
proper perspective. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, Lois. Because we always try to think that we're superwomen, right? And that we can do it on our own when we've got somebody greater and bigger that can help us through the hard times and it not be so hard. And I think that's what we have to remember, that we need to stick with him, and then it makes it easier for us. We don't have to take it all on. We can kind of let go some of that burden and get the help and the peace that we need. It's important to remember that. Good reminder.
Yeah.
Good reminder. So again, folks, we really, really appreciate you being here with us again this Monday. And we're still asking for your feedback in terms of things that you would like us to talk about and to discuss on Mondays. And I know a lot of us are looking for a powerful start to our week. Others are looking to be relieved of the things that hold us back. But whatever it is for you, think about a way forward. Think about starting off the week and think about a way forward and embarking on that way forward. Don't stay stuck. So we're looking for your feedback, and we appreciate the fact that you were here with us again today for Monday Musings. And we'll see you again next time. Is there anything we need to announce to them for that they need to be interested or looking for? We're still looking for people to bring their friends on and continue to have some fun with our friendship questions and our best friends or our friends, BFFs, to come on the Monday Musings with you so that Lois and I can fire away some questions at you and see how much you know about each other. So we're still leaving that door open. And again, you can reach us with our emails, and that will be in the comments so that you can have that information. I'm also going to remind you that we would love for you to what's the word for when you sign up or when you kind of become a member of the Monday Musings Club and just kind of join the movement, but also a reminder to check out the Diabetes Sugar Sweet Enemy podcast. We have very interesting guests on each week, and so I'm reminding you to check that out on Spotify and other platforms, and Apple and other platforms where you listen to your podcasts. And we will talk again next time. Thank you. Have a great week.
Talk soon.